All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something that's quickly moving from a cool sci-fi idea to a must-have tool, generative AI. We're going to break down exactly how it can be a total game changer, maybe even a superpower, for small businesses just like yours. So let's get to it.
You know, if you run a small business, you get it. You wear all the hats, right? You're the CEO one minute, the marketing guru the next, and then you're handling customer service. It feels like you're in this constant race against the clock, where every single minute of productivity is gold.
So does this look familiar? That feeling of just being completely buried under a to-do list that just never, ever gets shorter? Trust me, you are not alone. It's pretty much the daily grind for entrepreneurs everywhere.
And it's filled with tasks like these, isn't it? Answering customer calls, juggling the schedule, trying to come up with content, running marketing campaigns, chasing down invoices. It's all essential stuff, but man, it can really pull you away from what you're really supposed to be doing, thinking about the big picture and growing your business.
But what if you could get some serious help with all that? What if you had a new kind of teammate, one that's on the clock 24/7, never needs a coffee break, and can just chew through a huge chunk of that workload for you? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about with generative AI.
So what is this stuff, really? Put simply, generative AI is software that can create brand new things from scratch. You just give it a simple instruction, a prompt, and boom, it can write an email, create an image, or even draft up a design. It's kind of like having a super creative assistant on speed dial.
Let's make this super practical. So instead of staring at that blinking cursor on a blank page, you could just ask an AI, hey, write a marketing email about our big summer sale. And in just a few seconds, you've got a solid first draft that's ready for you to tweak and send.
And it is not just for writing text. Need a cool graphic for your next social media ad? Just describe what you're picturing, and the AI can whip up a bunch of visual ideas and creative options for you to choose from, instantly.
And think about all the time you spend answering the same customer questions over and over again. An AI chatbot can handle all those frequently asked questions, which frees you up to solve the trickier problems that really need your attention.
It can even be a strategic partner for you. You know, when you're feeling a little stuck, you can actually use AI to brainstorm new product ideas, find a fresh marketing angle, or even explore different directions to take your business.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty great in theory, but let's look at how real businesses are actually putting this to work right now. These aren't just ideas. These are actual wins happening out in the real world.
So take an online clothing shop, for example. They're creating an entire month's social media calendar in minutes, not spending a whole afternoon on it. Or think about a local plumber who uses AI to turn his spoken notes from a job site directly into a professional-looking invoice. Or a consultant who can now put together polished client proposals in a tiny fraction of the time. For all of them, this is real time and real money being saved.
So right about now, you might be thinking, okay, you've convinced me, but where on earth do I even start? Well, don't worry. It's actually a lot more straightforward than you might think. Let's just walk through a really simple roadmap to get you going. See? This makes it manageable. First, just figure out what your most repetitive, time-sucking tasks are. Then, pick a tool. So many have free versions to let you experiment. Now, step 3 is crucial. You've got to train the AI on your brand's unique voice and personality. Then, and this is important, always test and review what it spits out. Don't just copy-paste. Start by using it for internal tasks. Integrate it slowly. And finally, just keep an eye on your return on investment. Is the time you're saving worth the cost?
Now, as powerful as all this is, it's not a magic wand. To really make AI work for you, you need a smart strategy. Because with all this power, you also need to be careful. Let's look at the whole picture.
A smart strategy is all about balancing the power with the potential pitfalls. So yeah, you get instant content, which is amazing. But you have to be the human in the loop, the one who fact-checks for errors. It can automate tasks, for sure, but you've got to make sure it's always on brand and sounds like you. And it can give you incredible ideas based on data, but you have to be really careful about data privacy. Success here means knowing both sides of the coin.
And looking down the road, this is only going to get easier and even more powerful. We're going to see AI tools that are way more specialized for local businesses. And most importantly, AI is just going to become a normal plug-and-play feature inside the software you're already using every single day, like your accounting or your scheduling tools.
And that's really the big promise here. For small businesses, they get on board with AI early and do it smartly. This isn't just about saving a bit of time here and there.
It's about taking a huge leap ahead of your competition in your customer experience, your efficiency, and your ability to innovate. So, after all is said and done, what does this actually mean for you? Well, it all boils down to one single, incredibly valuable thing that you get back. And that thing is time. Hours saved every single week. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. In a super competitive market, what could you do with those extra hours? Would you finally launch that new product? Would you spend more time building relationships with your best customers? Or hey, maybe you just take a well-deserved break. With these new tools, that choice is finally becoming a real possibility.